What is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in. A little Lakers Talk Daily on this Monday. Really appreciate you guys being a part of the show. All right, I got one topic that I kind of want to stay on for today. First off, how about the Lakers weekend? How about that Lakers weekend? Taking care of the Milwaukee Bucks. AD just casually dropping 44. Taking care of the Washington Wizards. AD just casually dropping 55. Something happened in the game yesterday against the Washington Wizards that I thought was a little bit unique. The Washington Wizards crowd, which don't get me wrong, it sounded like 80% Laker fans there, were chanting MVP for Anthony Davis. So I'm going to throw this out there to Laker fans. Do you think AD can actually win an MVP this season? He was asked about this yesterday post-game show, and he said, trying to win a championship. Everything else would take care of itself. But the reason why I think this is an important conversation, I think the two can kind of go together. So I'll tell you what I mean. First off, appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Please subscribe to the channel. We're putting up Lakers content Monday through Friday right here on the ESPN LA page. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, the whole thing. So thank you for doing this. I'm not one that overly cares about most valuable player awards. I think it's great. It's an awesome individual, obviously individual accolade and an individual. It's a great goal and accomplishment to have. But for me, as somebody who's born and raised a Laker fan, you're worried about winning. You're worried about championships. You're worried about trying to get championship number 18. And that's how it always goes with the Lakers. But the Anthony Davis thing is a little bit different for me. So I'll tell you what I mean by this. LeBron, when he gets MVP chance, it's like, okay, well, it's LeBron James, is what it is. LBJ is, every single year you could probably make a case for LeBron to be MVP. Russ has had an MVP award. So, give him his praise, his Hall of Fame resume that he's had in other places. Obviously, his role has changed with the Lakers. But the AD MVP chance yesterday and what he's done over these last 10 games, which, by the way, is 35 points, over 15 rebounds, just under 3 blocks a game, has been remarkable. And these last 10 games, it's no coincidence that the Lakers have won 8 of their last 10. AD was also named earlier today the NBA Western Conference Player of the Week for what he's been able to accomplish over the last week or so. The reason why it's different when the conversation's about Anthony Davis, because I think the only way the Lakers are relevant this year, I think the only way the Lakers are in the mix in the Western Conference, I think the only way the Lakers have a shot of being in the conversation as a dangerous playoff team this year is if Anthony Davis is the focal point of the franchise, is delivering for the franchise, and is the absolute foundation of where they go moving forward. He's got to deliver on that. But sometimes, you have somebody who can win MVP. And let me give you an example. Jokic won MVP. By the way, 2 years Jokic has won. But Jokic wins MVP. They're 6th place in the Western Conference. You don't really feel like they're a threat, but he's been an unbelievable player, and they did it without Jamal Murray and without Michael Porter. And they had a successful season, even without those guys, and Jokic was amazing. For the Lakers, if AD is an MVP caliber player, well, Bron's still going to give you 25, 7, and 7. Obviously Russ is still, if he's still on this team, let's say down the road, he has 26 assists in the last 2 games, and he's also been a player that seems to have found his role off the bench, that if Anthony Davis is a part of that MVP conversation, then it's not like there's nobody else playing for this Lakers team. It's not like when he was with the Pelicans, or it's not like, use as examples of some other players that are out there that have been in that MVP conversation, or Russ when he was with Oklahoma City. No. There's other real players on this team. So that's what gets me excited to think about Anthony Davis, and he could potentially be in that MVP conversation. By the way, I'm not one to put AD back in that MVP conversation. I'll tell you why. I did it for 2 straight years, and I was wrong. He was injured for 2 straight years. This year, I said, I'm getting out of the AD for MVP sweepstakes, and what he's done over these last 10 games will tell you that he's been the best player in the world over the last 3 weeks. Now, MVPs are not won in 10 games. And teams are not, you can't say, hey, this is a good team because the Lakers won 8 of 10. Well, they started the season out 2 of 10. So I don't know where the Lakers fall into the mix. We're going to get a lot more answers as December rolls around. But I will say that if we're sitting here and we're in January and Lakers went through this stretch in December, which let me give you the stretch in December, you still got at Cleveland, at Toronto, at Philly. No order here, and I'm going to skip some teams. I'm just looking at the good teams. You still got Boston and Denver at home. You still got at Phoenix, at Sacramento, at Dallas, at Miami, at Atlanta. There's 10 games right there where those are legitimate games that can go either way because all those teams are playoff teams. They're good teams. Some of them are even competing for NBA championships or should be competing for NBA championships. So I bring all that up because to make an MVP case, it's not about a 10-game stretch. It's not about a 20-game stretch. It's where is your team in the Western Conference standings? Do you have a chance to compete in the West? That's number one, or in the East, but that's number one. And the second part of it for me is, did you do it over a 60-game stretch? Did you do it over a 70-game stretch? That's what you have to do in order to be a part of those MVP conversations. I don't think it's a priority for AD. I don't think it's a priority for the Lakers. But if AD is having an MVP type of season, just naturally, the Lakers should be in the mix in the Western Conference, should be in the mix. Give me one more example. Last year, Bron was competing for the scoring title. I could have told you if LeBron's competing for a scoring title, that's not good for the Lakers because that means AD is not dominating the team. AD is not the focal point. Obviously, AD was out a lot last year, and you don't want to see that. But if that conversation is about AD competing for a scoring title, AD competing for the MVP, I think just naturally it means the Lakers are playing good basketball. Your thoughts here. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I got Lakers talk tonight starting at 7 o'clock. Jovan Buha is going to join the show. Would love for you guys to be a part of it. Please subscribe to the channel here on ESPN LA, and thank you for being a part of the show. Laker fans, hope you have a great rest of your day.